What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to talk about a man's greatest influence. A man's greatest influence is a woman. That is a fact, and that's always been the case since long ago. I got this from Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, and he has a chapter in there called Sexual Transmutation. And he's basically, in the book, talks about withholding your sex energy so that way you can use it for a more powerful source, more creativity, more desire, more just everything is better when you control your sex energy and use it towards something productive. So going back to this, a man's greatest influence is a woman. He has a sentence in there, it's like towards the end of the chapter, that is basically saying man does everything because of women. Like, he wants women. And that is so true of why we do things. Like, why do we go to the gym? We do go to the gym so we can look better, so we can attract the opposite sex. Like, this is how things work. Like, there would be, obviously, you do it for yourself. Obviously, yes, yourself should always come first. But at the end of the day, we are human beings and we need to connect with one another. We have to connect. If we don't connect with one another, then our species would die because we won't be able to reproduce anymore. Like, so this is why attraction means so much, and sex energy, and attracting the opposite sex. Like, this is why working out has such a big influence on that, in controlling either lust or love, like any of those things. Mainly it's lust, because working out, we look for the body, we look for the perfect body, and this is all what we desire to have. We desire to want the perfect body, and we desire to have the perfect body. So this way, a man and a woman, when we come together, this is how things work. Like, and this is how it's always been. A man's greatest influence has always been because of women, because of a certain woman, or because of many women. It's always because of women. Like, this is why we do things. This is why we build so many things, is because of women. Like, of the level of testosterone that we have as men, and what we can do is create things. Is it's like we are meant to create, like, as human beings, like, because of this level of testosterone that we have. In order to maximize that, you need to work out, you need to drink a lot of water, you need to eat right, you need to sleep a lot, you need to, like, all those things matter in boosting your testosterone. Also, controlling your sex energy is another thing. By controlling your sex energy, you will boost your testosterone by a lot, and you'll get more creative. Like I talked about in the beginning, you'll get way more creative. You will be able to do things that you never thought, that you will think of things in a different way. Like, I know this because I've done this before, and I know what it's like. I know what it's like to have this feeling. So I strongly encourage you guys, especially as men, to control your sex energy and to realize why you do certain things. Like, why do you work out so hard? Like, why do you work so hard? It's because the influence of a woman. It's because the influence of many women. Like, that's why we work out so hard. That's why we do these things. And that's just the way it is. And you can argue and say, no, I do it for myself. But at the end of the day, like I said, you can do it for yourself. But at the end of the day, we do the things we do because of attracting the opposite sex and getting more intimate with the opposite sex. Like, this is us as human beings. We're meant to connect. This is why social interactions are so crucial nowadays, and why online has really screwed everything up for us. Because as human beings, like I said, we need to talk to each other. We need to connect with one another. This doesn't have to be, this video, for example, it doesn't just have to be women. Like, just connecting with individuals. Like, it can be other men on men, like, or just talking to other guys. But, like, just talking to people in general, that's the point I'm trying to get here. This is the point I'm trying to get across. And this is why online has screwed everything up for us, because everything now is just so online. And it's like we all have conversations through Snapchat, through Instagram, through Twitter. Everything is a DM, Facebook. Like, all these things are just, as opposed to, like, let's go back in time. We all used, the only way to connect back in time was through literally talking to the person one-on-one. That's the only way to do it. Like, you could not connect with another person. Obviously they didn't have any of that stuff. So that's why it's so crucial. And we've been separating, and this is why so many people are just so addicted to video games, and they just stay in their house, play video games, and they don't get out of the house now because they have everything they need in their basement. And I completely understand it. It's like, I get it, yes, but it's like, but at the end of the day, you need to get out of the house, you need to talk to people, you need to communicate with people, you need to talk to the opposite sex. Like, all these things you need to be doing in order to connect. Relationships, it's one of the 4 pillars of the good life. Love and happiness, they're the pillars of the good life. Like, we need connection, we need these things in order to survive, like I said, and to reproduce as human beings. Like, we need these things. Like, we can't live without them, because like, if you look at the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like, sex is literally like at the bottom, very well, with food, water, shelter. Like, sex is literally listed on the bottom of the hierarchy of needs. Like, that's how important, like, this is. Like, so just, I wanted to make this video just to remind you of, like, why we're actually doing, like, why do we do certain things, like, why do we go through this stuff that we go through. And I want to make this message just to remind you of why you do certain things, like why you're doing everything that you do. And it's because of the influence of a woman or many women. Like, that's why you do what you do. If there was no there's a quote on a YouTube video that I saw, like, if there's no, like, pretty faces or anything like that, the human race would be distinct. It would, like, we wouldn't, like, because, like, that's, like I said, attraction is the main thing that attracts the opposite sex. Like, this is how it is, and this is always how it's always been. So that's the video for today. Make sure you realize this every time when you do stuff, like, why you're doing them. This is exactly why you do things. So that's a video for today. Like the video, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and we will see you in the next video.